another episode of Three's a Crowd. I'm Preston Vargas here. We got a lot to get into today. We were off yesterday because we had a triple header of sports. It was a great day yesterday, so we'll get into that. But first, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this and for more game streams like we had yesterday and we'll have tonight as well and throughout the weekend. So, we will get into this here, starting off with Vita Vea. He signs a 1-year, $30 million extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, of course, this ends his hold-in that he's been having, requesting a contract extension this season. The rumors about him being traded, I think he initially requested a trade, and I heard the Bears were initially one of the teams from what I've heard, but it's good that they got Vita Vea re-signed. So, I mean, he's 31 years old. I think he wants a long-term extension at this point, but in my opinion, I don't see how he could get a long-term extension and still be how he is. I mean, he's 31 years old. We'll face facts there. I mean, he's been with the Bucs since 2018, 12th overall pick from them, been a real cornerstone of their franchise, won a Super Bowl with them, and then two-time Pro Bowler, last coming in 2024. Let me take a look at his statistics last season. So, all 17 games, 16 tackles, 34 total, including 7 tackles for loss and 4.5 sacks. He also had 2 pass deflections as well, 1 fumble recovery. So, looking at that, his Pro Bowl year from 24, he had a career high in tackles for loss and sacks. He's definitely good in stopping the run. That's definitely something the Bears needed. I mean, it's a shame that we didn't end up getting him, but it's good that he initially re-signs with the team that drafted him. So, yeah, looking at the Bucs this season, we'll do a quick win-loss game for them since they're a topic of conversation here. So, in week 1, Tampa Bay, they will face off against the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. So that is a 1 o'clock game. I think Cincinnati's going to be better this year. I'm going to have that as a loss for the Bucs. Home opener against the Browns, September 20th. I think they win that one. Minnesota at home, that's another win for them. Packers, they better beat the Packers. So 3-1 at the Cowboys, where I think they're going to lose. Steelers at home, not sold on Aaron Rodgers. They're 4-2 heading into the 25th against Carolina. I think that's a toss-up, but I'm going to give them the slight edge there with the win. Falcons at home, I think they win that one for setting up a big game with the Buccaneers, or big game with the Bears. Of course, they lose that one. They're not beating the Bears. So 6-3 entering the bye at Detroit. I think they lose that one. Carolina at home, I think they win that one. Then the Chargers with Justin Herbert, that's a toss-up for me. But I'm going to go the slight edge to Tampa Bay because they play Baltimore because they're losing that one. 8-5 going to hosting New Orleans. I think that's a win. So they have a winning record, 9 wins now, going to Atlanta, which is going to be a win. So 10-win team against the LA Rams, which I think is going to be a loss. So 10-6. Playing New Orleans, I think that might be enough to get them the division. So I think they're going to rest their starters. So yeah, give me the Saints to win that one. So 10-7 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see if that's enough to get them first place in the division. We'll have a full division preview on the channel here. So make sure to tune into that. So yeah, that's the record for the Buccaneers this upcoming season. Now they re-signed Vita Vea to a 1-year, $30 million extension. We'll see if this is his last year, but we'll see in the offseason whether he re-signs with the Bucs or he will move on elsewhere. So, with that, we go to a 5-team trade in the NBA last night. So it sent the Cavaliers, the Nuggets, and Pistons agreed on a trade that sends Peyton Watson from Denver to Cleveland, Max Strus is going from Cleveland to the Clippers. And then, as part of the deal, Denver will receive an unprotected Cavaliers first-round pick and a 2032 Sacramento Kings second-round pick. And then also Watson's going to sign a new 4-year, $88 million deal with a player option to trade to join the Cavaliers. So, okay, so here are the main details. Of course, Cavaliers get Watson from the Nuggets, a 27 second-rounder from the Clippers that is going to the Wizards, and also Cam Whitmore from the Wizards. The Denver Nuggets, they will get an unprotected 2031 first-round pick by Cleveland, 2032 second-round pick by the Kings. Julian Reese from the Wizards, they'll waive Reese off his two-way deal. And the Clippers get Max Strus. Wizards get Trey Mann from the Cavs, 2027 second-rounder from the Cavs by the Clippers, and then cash from the Cavaliers. And then the Hornets end up getting Dennis Schroeder and cash. So, Dennis Schroeder, he was on the move, so I guess now they got all those teams involved to make that trade complete. Definitely a lot to digest there, but what I'm surprised at is Dennis Schroeder going to the Hornets. I thought he was going to... I know he got traded this week, or last week, I should say, but it's definitely something from now to be on the Hornets. I mean, honestly, I don't know how the Hornets are going to be this year. Even though they made the play-in game, they still trade away LaMelo Ball. We'll see if they can still make the play-in. And they were one of the hottest teams in the league down the stretch, but unfortunately lost to the Magic. Well, not unfortunately lost to the Magic. It's good that they lost to the Magic for us to get into the playoffs. So, yeah, Peyton Watson, he is going to the Cavs in a 5-team trade. So, now we go to our next topic, and this is something that, honestly, you could have seen coming down the track. I hoped to never have seen this coming, but unfortunately, it is happening. So, there's a report yesterday that some NFL rookies who are in training camps now with NFL teams, they're requesting to get released so they can go back to playing college football. So, yeah, you heard that right. I just want to say this. Why? I mean, we know why. They can do... The courts are allowing them to do it, even though the NCAA doesn't want them to. So, let me pull up an article here. I read this yesterday and had a conversation with someone about this. So, let me see if I can find it on the college football storylines here. So, okay, here it is. So, Ole Miss starters Daquan Wright and Xavier Harris, Wydett Williams, they all signed with NFL teams this summer. They're among a group of athletes that were granted a temporary restraining order on Wednesday to return to college football for one more season. 30 other athletes, including, I think, there's someone on the Bucs that played in the preseason game on Friday against the Jets. They're trying to get released and then go to LSU. So, this was filed in a lawsuit against the NCAA in Louisiana State Court. So, 16 football players, former Oregon State running back Anthony Hankerson, they're currently listed on NFL rosters. Those players express interest being released from their contracts according to their attorney, Ryan Downton. If their NFL teams release them by September 1st, they'll be allowed to join a college roster on the restraining order. I'm sorry. If you sign an NFL roster, that's it. You cannot go back to college. That's been the thing for however long this has been going on for. Like, if it's always understood, if you sign NFL with an NFL roster, you cannot go back to college. Point blank, period. I mean, and to the fact that judges are allowing this to happen, it's insane. We've said all the other stuff, conference realignment, NIL, it would be the death of college sports. College sports, or the purity of college sports, that's been dead for a while now. you could argue back to when they signed national TV contracts that it was dead then. But I think with this, NFL players coming back to college, yeah, you can't have that. I'm sorry. Once you declare for the draft, once you sign with an NFL roster, you're done with the college route. You can go to the UFL route, which I'm hoping the UFL does expand to give these guys some opportunities because they do deserve it to try to get back on the field. I have no problem with that. I mean, that's why spring football is a great thing. It gives these guys who are maybe not good enough to get on NFL rosters, who obviously have exhausted their college eligibility, but it gives them a space to go to play football, try to get some tape, and get back on an NFL roster. Not to be on an NFL roster and then go back into college. And first of all, it ruins the development for players. That's true. And second of all, it's you played pro football. That's the thing. So former South Carolina safety DQ Smith, LSU linebacker Jack Pyburn, who played for the Bucs. I know that. I saw him play. You cannot have people that played in preseason games. And Pyburn balled out. I think he got a sack in that game as well. So, yeah, this cannot be allowed to happen. I think the schools need they need to bypass the NCAA saying, no, you went to the NFL. I don't care if the judge says you can play. We won't play you. That's the thing. We won't play you. They need to say that. The schools need to get involved instead of the lawyers. Because the judges, I mean, all this, even going back to Brandon Sorsby, getting a temporary injunction to play despite him betting on his own team. And that can of worms opening up. They need a lot of these judges are elected officials. That's the thing. I won't get into all that. That'll be a whole nother rabbit hole. But the point is, these guys cannot play college football again. That's the main point I'm trying to get around here. So we'll move on to another subject from baseball yesterday. So it says here in the rundown, Pete Alonso robbed of a homer, and not in the traditional sense of what you might be thinking. So we'll go back to this scenario here. So it was yesterday in what is a big game in the American League wildcard race between the Yankees and the Orioles. So let me take a look at this. So in the 7th inning, Pete Alonso steps up to the plate. He hits a fly ball to left field that's near the line, and they call it foul on the field. So I want to take a look at the replay of this again, because it was perplexing. Now, I can't show it here on the channel. That'd be copyright. So, I mean, what I saw this morning, I'll take a look at this again as I'm talking to you right now. But what I saw this morning, Pete Alonso hit a fly ball to left. Umpires ruled it foul. But on the replay, it said that it was a home run. But the umpires, they went to review it, they still said it was foul. So I don't know what they were looking at. So it was definitely close. A lot of fans thought it was. Pete Alonso thought it was until it was called foul. So I'm looking at it right here. So let me pause it, and then if I can show. So no, I can't show it in a clear picture. It was fair. That should have been a fair ball. And the umpires completely missed that. And I don't know who the crew chief was for that, but I can tell you the umpires of that game were, let me look this up here. Ryan Willis, Ryan Adden, Jonathan Para, and Will Little. So if you guys haven't seen it, go look it up yourself so you can see how ridiculously bad that call was, even on replay. That's why you need instant replay in Major League Baseball, and it was improperly used there. I don't know how you could take a second look and not see that it was a home run. So it was robbed of a 2-run homer by the umpires. So that would have been, it would have made it, I think at the time it was a tied game at 3-3. That would make it 3-5. But the Yankees tied up in the 8th inning, and then Orioles ended up losing that one 5-3. So they would have at least gone extras. Who knows? They would have won that game, but it still would have given you a chance to win that game instead of losing the game in regulation. So Pete Alonso said something after the game. He said that there's no reason why they shouldn't have like Hawkeye technology to see if it's a home run. I mean, you have the ABS system coming into the game, which has been great so far. So you add that with Pete Alonso, if you retrofit all 30 ballparks for that, I think it's worth it. It'd be done for calls like this that are close, and you can see clearly where the foul pole is and where the ball landed. That's the thing. And that's what they need to fix here. So they had that technology. Who knows? I think that they should add it, in my opinion. So we'll see if they do. I mean, the NFL, like we said, with the automated first downs, I think I saw in the Bears game that it was so close that they had to get the chain gain back out. But sometimes it's not perfect. But you see in tennis, all their calls are made with Hawkeye technology. You barely have any linesmen there anymore, at least for the majors. So, and also World Cup soccer, they have the semi-automated offside where in a Colombia-Portugal game, a Colombia player was offside and a goal was disallowed because his toes were offside. And some say it was ticky-tacky, but it's the right call. The NFL, we're getting down another rabbit hole that we won't get into here today. But yeah, they should add this technology in MLB, especially for calls like this. You could also do fan interference as well. Like if a fan reaches over the line, yeah, that could definitely work as well. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff Major League Baseball could add, but they got bigger fish to fry coming up this winter. So now we'll get into our preseason preview tonight. Before we get into that, make sure to tune in to preseason action as the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Houston Texans. We're streaming that game live at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. So make sure to tune in. So yes, that's the game we are going to preview now. The Raiders taking on the Texans, and the unfortunate news for the Texans, they lost second-year receiver Jaden Higgins to a torn ACL. So yeah, we definitely want to have. That's definitely not good news for the Texans here. But Fernando Mendoza is going to get another start for the Raiders. And yeah, after that Higgins news, the Texans are not going to have their starters in. D'Amico Ryans announced that yesterday. So Fernando Mendoza, he played well in his debut. Apparently Kirk Cousins is going to rest, so we'll see how long Mendoza goes for here. So it'll be interesting to see what he does for this Raiders team on the road in a good road environment here. So yeah, that's definitely interesting to see there. And we also have Niners and Chargers tonight. Of course, Niners dealing with a lot of injuries so far. Don't think anyone's really going to play. I don't think we'll see most of the Charger starters play either. So that'll be a battle to see who's going to make the roster. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Mendoza can do with the ones again. I think they're going to play him through most of the first half. That's what I'm hearing. So yeah, we'll see how things go there. And we'll see if I think we have time for another topic here. So I think I saw a list this morning that football don't miss. NFL's top 30, age 30 and over. So let me get the full list here. This is by CBS Sports by Tyler Sullivan. This came out yesterday morning. So let's start with number 30. That is Mike Evans, 33 years old. Man, does the time fly with him. So he's 30. Cortland Sutton, or Mike Evans, 33. He's ranked 30th. 29th, Cortland Sutton is ranked 29. He's 30 entering this season. I discussed this on the show with Jackson Burleson on Monday that I think he's definitely going to have a great season, especially with Jayden Waddle coming in. You'll take some of their best corners off of Cortland Sutton. He has a chance to shine here. 28, Kevin Byard, obviously one of the elite players for the Bears last year. We lost him to the Patriots, which I thought was good. I think he was asking for too much money there, but he was definitely appreciated in Chicago. Going back 390 with Mike Vrabel there in New England. 27, Buda Baker. I mean, he's basically all the Cardinals have right now. At 26, Vita Vea. Obviously, we discussed him. One of the best defensive tackles in the game right now. 25, Travis Kelce at 36 years old. We think this is going to be his last season. Then 24, Devontae Adams at age 33. He's definitely okay right now. I think this is going to be a make or break year for him to see if I'm not going to say he's going to fall off a cliff, but to basically say he's going to have still a future in the NFL. 23, Baker Mayfield, 31 years old. I mean, he's the other one in Tampa that has a contract dispute. So we'll see how he does here. They're saying that he wants to lead Tampa Bay to a big record here. Deion Dawkins, 22, age 32. So definitely one of the best defensive tackle or offensive linemen for the Buffalo Bills. Been protecting Josh Allen for a long time. And then Trey Hendrickson for the Baltimore Ravens, 31 years old. And Orlando, Florida's own. Limited to 7 games last season due to a hip injury. Of course, he's been in contract disputes after contract disputes with the Cincinnati Bengals, so he signs with the rival Ravens in free agency. So I think he adds to a good defensive line for the Baltimore Ravens. Then Leonard Williams, age 32, coming off a coming off a great season, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy for the first time. And he's definitely one of the reasons why the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. It's definitely a big key there. Chris Jones at number 19, age 32. He's starting to get on the decline of his career. We'll see how he does this year. Jared Goff at 18. I mean, I could see that, but in my opinion, I think he's going to fall off a cliff this year with Drew Petzing as his offense corner. I'm not sold on him whatsoever. Derwin James at 17. I mean, been a solid safety for the Los Angeles Chargers, and that defense is one of the best because of him. So I think that's a good spot at 17. 16 from the Bears, Joe Thuney, the inaugural Protector of the Year. So he's getting up there in age. I think he's definitely our best offensive lineman last year. He's the best offensive lineman in the game, and he won the award for that. So yeah, I think he's definitely gonna have another good season next year. Then we got a 15, T.J. Watt. Of course, injuries last year, limited to 14 games, 7 sacks last year. We'll see if he can turn on the Jets here, potentially get a playoff win, which I'm not sold on the Steelers, really. The George Kittle, age 32. He's coming off a torn Achilles. We'll see if he's healthy enough to play week 1, but it may be unlikely. I mean, you tear your Achilles at age 32, especially with the injury history the Niners have had. It's unfortunate for him, but I think George Kittle might be on the decline now after this. Quentin Nelson, offensive guard for the Indianapolis Colts. All-Pro 6 times over his career. And he only surrendered 1 sack on 13 pressures. Definitely Great piece there with the run game and protecting Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, finding holes for him as well. Dak Prescott at number 12 at age 33. I mean, I think this is going to be one of his better seasons, and he's definitely showed it that the Cowboys offense is one of the best in the league. We'll see how he does this year with a much improved defense. I think a lot's good is in store for the Cowboys. Number 11, we got Cam Hayward. And I'm surprised he's up this high, to be honest. He's still effective, but last year only 3.5 sacks. He was on the AP's second team on 50 pressures. So he's still serviceable, but how long can he continue on? Here's one that is retiring after this year. Lane Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles. Missed last 7 games going to the playoffs due to a Lisfranc injury. He's announced that he's retiring this year. Eagles 8-2 with him, 3-4 without him. So, yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on there. You have Garrett Bowles at 34. He's 34 already. I remember when he was drafted, I guess he came to the league a little late. And the Broncos advanced to the AFC Championship game, All-Pro nod for the first time in his career. If the Broncos are to make the Super Bowl, I think he's going to be a big reason why. Then Neil Hunter at number 8. I mean, like I said before, he's one of the more underrated defensive tackles in the game, or defensive ends in the game. I mean, only in the past 4 seasons, only Myles Garrett has had more sacks than Danielle Hunter. And with Will Anderson Jr., that's definitely the Houston Texans defense is going to be one of the best pass rushers in the game. Then we got Derrick Henry coming in at number 7. Excuse me. So, I mean, I've said this before. Derrick Henry is the best player that I've ever seen play in person, hands down. When I saw him last year in Baltimore, we had no answer for him on the ground. I think he had like over 180 yards total in that game. But he's definitely the best player that I've seen play in person. Number 6, Christian McCaffrey, dealing with injuries in training camp here. I mean, who knows how much more prime Christian McCaffrey has left. And it's a shame because he had a touchdown scoring record. But unfortunately, I think he might be coming out of his prime. So he won Comeback Player of the Year, but yeah, it's not looking good for him. Trent Williams, age 38, still playing. So I think he even signed an extension. And he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer someday, that's for sure. Matthew Stafford at 38, the MVP. We'll see how he does this season for the Rams. So yeah, I think if he can continue his MVP form, the Rams could find themselves in the Super Bowl, but we all know who's going to go to the Super Bowl. It's the team that you see right behind me there. Then number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Of course, it's the first time he is on this list at age 30. Can't believe he's already 30. Of course, last year he tore his ACL and LCL. He's expected to be back by week 1, so we'll see how he does there. Then Myles Garrett comes in, number 2, at age 30. Of course, one of the best defensive tackles of this defensive ends of this generation. Number 1 overall pick in 2017. Joining the Rams here to make that pass rush even more scary. Then Josh Allen is number 1 at age 30. So all the top 3 players over 30 are just turned 30. So, yeah, age 30 seasons are coming up here for a lot of guys in their prime. And I think this is going to be a year where Josh Allen needs to get it done. He needs to get it done in these situations. So we'll see how he does here this upcoming year. So now, based off of all of that, let's get into playing the Immaculate Grid. So I'll move here, get in the shot, and here we go. Immaculate Grid time. We will start off with baseball, the Cubs, and Mets. I think that one's going to be Clay Holmes. Only 3% got that. Then Cubs, Dodgers, of course, Kyle Tucker. 30-plus home run season. I want to say Rizzo had one. There we go. We go to the Cardinals. Cardinals, Mets. Keith Hernandez. I think Keith Hernandez did. Yes. Cardinals and Dodgers. I wonder if Kirk Gibson had spent some time with the Cardinals. I think that he did. No, he did not. Okay. 30 home run season. Albert Pujols. One of the best players of all time. 40-plus WAR career. That is definitely interesting there. Did Tom Seaver? Okay, he did. Okay. Shohei Ohtani. Does he have that? Yes, okay. 30-plus home run season. Let's go with Sammy Sosa. No, I'm not going to go with him. I don't think he had that long of a career to really have that. Jeter? No. Okay. He's got a rarity 278. That's good. So we'll go to basketball now. Let's see. 20 points per game a season. Let's go with Bam Adebayo for the Heat. Tyrese Maxey. And then the Hawks. Let's go Trae Young. Alright, so that one was easy. Timberwolves and 76ers. Timberwolves Heat. No, a lot of Timberwolves have played elsewhere. That's for sure. Julius Randle. No. Grizzlies and Sixers. Grizzlies Heat. Yeah, we'll come back to that one. Let's go to football now. Okay. Made a field goal. Hall of Famer. Adam Vinatieri. Then his replacement, Steve Gostkowski. Then Jake Elliott. Okay, Seahawks and Eagles. Seahawks Patriots have played each other in the Super Bowl. Come back to that one a little later. Patriots Browns, go Jamie Collins. Wonder how many people still remember he played for both. Only 10% did. This one, Trent Richardson. A lot of people, more people picked that than I thought. Okay. See, Browns and Eagles. Don't really know. Colts, Seahawks. Can't really think of one off the top of my head. Eagles, Seahawks. I know there's somebody. Recently, I think. No, it's not Geno Smith. It's another one we'll come back to a little later. Geno didn't play for either of those guys. But yeah, we'll come back to that one a little later. Soccer now. Liverpool, Juventus. Let's go Firmino. World Cup goal. That is going to be Salah. Then Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo. And then for Real Madrid, Casemiro. Only 7% got that. Oh, this would have been Ronaldo too. Damn, should have used that for him. I don't really know Juventus players that well, so we'll go to English football now. Let me make sure you can see. Okay, I'll scroll down to make sure that doesn't get on. There we go. There you go. Now you guys can see. South American nationality for Liverpool. Let's go. I think we can reuse some stuff. Roberto Firmino. Then we have Alexis McAllister. We'll keep it there. Let's go Liverpool here. We'll go Jordan Henderson. And how about James Milner, who ended his career on the South Coast? Then Chris Wood for Nottingham Forest. Oh, that's right. He's Welsh. My bad. This one would be Nuno Espirito Santo for manager. But unfortunately, there is no manager here. It's only for clubs and for players. All right, let's go. Let's try some hockey now. Born outside the United States in D.C. I think Mitch Marner. All right, easy one. Connor McDavid. If I can spell it right. Columbus. Can barely name any Columbus players. I'm thinking one, but I don't really know. So yeah, that's about it for hockey. Let's go with WNBA here. 1,000 assists. Okay, this one's going to be Candace Parker for sure. 4,000 plus points career. Does Asia Wilson have that? Yes, okay. Maya Moore, arguably one of the best players of all time. Then for the Chicago Sky, it's going to be a difficult one. Chicago Sky, 4,000 career points. The only Sky players I can name, Angel Reese and Candace Parker. That's about it. Because Candace Parker went back to... she went back to her hometown of Chicago. So, yeah, I think we'll give up there. So, let's get our scores in. 653. I think we did the best in baseball. 777. 556. 721. At least we got something there. 559. Okay, English football. 551. Okay. So, yes, this one is the winner here. 278 for Immaculate Grade for baseball. And like I said, that'll do it for this episode. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this. We'll do Immaculate Grade. We'll talk about the day in sports as well. We're back for another episode tomorrow, but in the meantime, we are back for streaming NFL football tonight. Las Vegas Raiders, led by Fernando Mendoza, taking on whoever's playing for the Texans tonight. We'll see. So we thank you for watching, and we will see you again next time. Take care, everyone.